Corey Davis does it again. Lost the football, and the Jets recover. Under pressure, and now he goes down sacked.
The Jets get set to take on their first division foe of 2021 as they welcome in the New England Patriots to MetLife Stadium for the season home opener. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of The Numbers Game presented by WynnBET. Betting is a team sport. Bet together at WynnBET. I'm your host, Dan Graca. Pleased to be joined, as always, by my co-host from the NFL Network. It is Cynthia Frelund. Cynthia, one in the books already. How we doing?
I'm doing great. It was a fun weekend of football. It was a close game. I liked it. It was fun.
It was a close game indeed. Not the result that Jet fans wanted necessarily, of course, but erasing a 16-0 halftime deficit. Team fought back in quarters 3 and 4 before just coming up short 19-14 to the Carolina Panthers.
You know, it was interesting to watch kind of the whole storyline unfold. I don't know. It was fun to see Sam out there, too. I'm just going to go ahead and say it because, you know, you want the best for everyone, right?
Well, there's certainly a lot to be excited about the current Jet quarterback, and that would be Zach Wilson, who got hit a good number of times in this game, but still responded very well in the second half, especially completing 14 of 21 passes for 174 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Cynthia, you saw some of the talent that made him the number 2 overall pick in this draft.
You saw a lot of talent. We got a good one here. It's exciting to watch him. One of the things that I look for as a benchmark are the air yards per target, the air yards per completion. Are they asking them to throw deep passes, or are they keeping it really, really conservative? Well, they did not definitely do that. 7.1 was the average. That's a high average. Think of 5 as something that would be pretty good for a top quarterback. He bested that by 2.1 yards. That's a ridiculously high number. It means high hopes, lots to look forward to here.
Absolutely, and you saw the improv skills too, especially on that first touchdown pass to Corey Davis where the play broke down. He scrambled out to the right and found his wide receiver in the quarter in the end zone. And those two guys really picked up right where they left off from the preseason, and Corey Davis in his first game as a New York Jet really had himself one heck of a performance. 5 catches for 97 yards and the 2 touchdown grabs from Zach Wilson. And Cynthia, if one game is going to be an indication of things to come for throughout the season, Jet fans have a lot to be excited about watching these two guys work their magic on Sundays.
Listen, I would like to throw the ball to Corey Davis too. Why? Because he gets open. Separation is a really helpful thing. You know, there's not a lot of traffic to throw into, so it makes things better. If you look on those deep passes, that's where Corey Davis had the 10th best separation in terms of the entire National Football League on deep passes, 10-plus air yard attempts in week 1. So, yeah, I'll go through. Let's go to the open guy. Keep it easier.
All right, let's have some fun here. Let's do a little bets with an over-under, and we'll start it off with the aforementioned Corey Davis. What are you thinking, Cynthia, here? Over-under 100 receiving yards for the Jets' number 84.
Okay. I'm going to say that it's going to be fewer than 100 receiving yards, but this isn't a bad thing. This is because people are coming back. We even saw like a Denzel Mims sighting last week. So ultimately, I think they're going to mix it around a little bit more. A lot of targets for him, but I think it's going to be under 100 receiving, but I still think he sees the end zone.
Now, when we come back on the Numbers Game, we will look ahead to the opponent in week 2, the AFC East rival New England Patriots. This is the Numbers Game presented by WynnBET. Betting is a team sport. Bet together at WynnBET.
Good to have you boys back.
You know how it is. We never really left. Slow down, though. I got to make my picks. You want to get on this win bet with me?
I like where your head's at, but Boston's not covering.
WynnBET, huh?
Yep. Bet any game, anytime, and you bet with win, so it's the best. You don't need to cover?
Look at the numbers.
Look at the offense.
With what, Frank? A microscope?
Go with Boston, Ben.
Don't worry, Frank. I already made my picks. I just wanted to see you two go at it.
You have an allegiance to Boston right now, but
That's called common sense.
common to who? Bostonians?
And welcome back to the Numbers Game presented by WynnBET. Betting is a team sport. Bet together at WynnBET. And up next for the Jets, it's an AFC East divisional showdown with the New England Patriots. Cynthia, it goes without saying how important this game is. Both teams need a win in the worst way. Nobody wants to start out 0-2, and division games always that much more important, regardless of whether or not it's against a division rival.
I have a fun fact for you in this one. They've met 121 times, the Jets and the Patriots, and exactly 0 times have 2 rookies faced off. That's a fun one.
And that'll be a first. So there you go. History in the making in this one at MetLife Stadium. And let's get into the rookies here. We already talked about Zach Wilson, of course. Everybody knows that from a Jets standpoint. New England also has their own rookie signal caller in Mac Jones, who played pretty well in last week's 17-16 defeat against the Miami Dolphins. And when you look at his performance and you break it down, he hung in there pretty well against the blitz that the Dolphins were throwing at him. And when you looked at Mac Jones and his distribution of the football, Cynthia, let's just say he let his playmakers do most of the damage.
Well, look, we thought this coming out of college. This is what he did at Alabama. It was those quick passes. That was the bread and butter of his game, and it makes sense that it continued in the NFL. So if you look at his passes of fewer than 10 air yards, he was 24 of 29 for 181 yards and a touchdown. Those are going to be one key way that they're going to probably try to attack the Jets defense again this week. And of course, they've been rolling out that 12 personnel. Last season, they did not use 12 personnel a lot. This season, they seem to be back with 12 personnel on almost 50% of their offensive plays. So they're making it heavy formations, and then they're just little passes, little ones. Quick, go, get rid of it.
And the 12 personnel that Cynthia referring to, for all you neophytes out there, 1 running back, 2 tight ends. Patriots spent big money on 2 tight ends in the offseason in Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith, so they want to feature those guys as much as possible. Now, the Jet defense is going to be looking to take down Mac Jones, of course, and leading the charge will be John Franklin Myers. He had the only quarterback sack for the Jets against the Carolina Panthers last week, and he also graded out as the highest of all the Jets defensive linemen, according to Pro Football Focus. And John Franklin Myers, Cynthia, an ascending player here when you think about this Jet defense.
Somebody wrote about him as the player that's most likely to take a big step forward this year. I don't know, but maybe on NFL.com/Frelund you can go see who wrote that, because, somebody called that like in June.
I have to Google it. You gave me some hints, but I just can't put my finger on who said that. Hey, let's not forget, John Franklin Myers, though, as a rookie with the Rams, the guy had a sack of Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Not too many people could say that. So this guy's already played in big games, and you're starting to see him get even more and more acclimated to his surroundings here with the Jets. And this is a guy that, the Jets might be able to tap into something here for years to come.
Yeah, look, the interesting part about Jonathan Franklin Myers, he had 4 pressures. One of them was a sack, but it's kind of better to look at pressures because pressures lead to sacks, right? So he wasn't the only one that had 4 pressures as well. It's like this and then, obviously you look at, that was Quinnen Williams who had the other 4, and then Bryce Huff had 3. So there's 11 total. That's really nice. Add that to the fact that look at the tackling metric, like how well all of the players in this defense tackled. 10 guys graded out over 70 per PFF. So that's a really nice indication of what's to come.
And especially the corners, too. You have a lot of youth at that position. I thought those guys did very, very well. A lot of them making their first starts in the National Football League did a great job when it came to wrapping up in the open field on Sunday. All right, let's get to an over-under here for this game. 42.5 is the total points for the Jets and the Patriots on Sunday. I know which way I'm leaning, but I'll give you the floor first. Go ahead.
I think this is going to be a very run-heavy on both sides of the ball. I think the run game is going to come into a little bit more play for the Jets as well. So I actually think that it's going to slow the pace of the game down, and I think that's going to mean a lower scoring game. So I think 42.5 is too many points. I think it's going to be under that.
I agree with you there. And plus, as you mentioned, right, 2 rookie quarterbacks squaring off against each other. Bill Belichick has fared historically well going up against rookie QBs. And on the other side, Robert Saleh, is going to have something cooked up. Jeff Ulbrich, the defensive coaches, against Mac Jones in the first-year signal caller for the New England Patriots. Thanks for joining us here on The Numbers Game presented by WynnBET. Betting is a team sport. Bet together at WynnBET. So long, everybody.